Hello and welcome to this edition of webinar training for CareerLocker. This is Amy Rivera, your CareerLocker training representative. Thanks for attending. Let's get started. To get to the middle school version, we're going to click on this middle school link. The page that you see in front of you is the professional homepage. This is what you see when you first log into CareerLocker. So I'm going to click on middle school. And today's webinar is going to be focusing on Explore More, the Explore More tab. When I click on this, I have the ability to research education options. I can use job seeking tools and budgeting tools. You'll notice that assessments and occupations are separated out for middle school students. But under Explore More, education and job seeking can still be used along with budgeting. So under education, I do have the ability to browse colleges and schools. I can pull up any college or school that I'm interested in. So let's say that I'm interested in Marquette University. I can type in Marquette, or I can punch in or click on the letter M. Let's find Marquette here. Here's Marquette. So now I'm at a page that gives me a description on what Marquette University is all about. I have their address. I even have a link to their website. I can see that they are a private university, Catholic. They offer bachelor's and master's, first professional doctorate, and other advanced degrees. They're in an urban city. They have the enrollment information here, along with the racial and ethnic background of their students, and the retention rates, and again, the school's website. When I click on the items on the left-hand side, academics, this will give me the test scores of freshmen who enrolled. So most recently, the SAT average for freshmen who enrolled was 580. ACT, the average ACT for freshmen was 27. And then 94% of their incoming freshmen were in the top 50% of their high school class. We also have other information such as information on off-campus study, ROTC, and alternative credit opportunities. And then we can check out the application and admission processes, the entrance difficulty, the application fees and dates, along with athletics. We see that Marquette is a Division I school, and they offer scholarships. For this list of sports, so Division I basketball for women, cheerleading, lacrosse, etc. Expenses gives us a list of the in-state and out-of-state tuition. Most likely because it's a private university, the in-state and out-of-state is the same. Most private universities are like that. And this is for the most recent tuition year, 2013-2014. We have loan information and financial aid information. Majors and degrees, this is nice. It'll let you know what majors and degrees are offered at Marquette. So for example, if you decide to go to Marquette to major in accounting, but you might change your mind later and switch to marketing, here you can see that Marquette offers a bachelor's, which this B stands for, in accounting, as well as a bachelor's in marketing. But again, we can take a look at all of the degrees and programs that are offered. And I can click on the link, and I will be looking at a page that gives me a description on what this major and degree is all about. I can also take a look at this student life link, which tells me what kinds of services are offered for students. So we're looking at Marquette. They have a library. They offer campus housing. They offer an ESL program, an orientation. There's a daycare available on campus. There's campus security and whatnot. We can also compare schools. So let's compare Marquette. Since we are in Wisconsin, let's compare Marquette. to University of Wisconsin-Madison. Let's see. Okay, I can't. Let's do this one. All the way down. Where's Wisconsin? Madison. So I have these two schools. I can click the compare button. And now I have these schools and their information listed here side by side. Academics, I can look at academics, application and admissions, athletics, expenses, programs of study, and student life. Students can compare up to 3 different schools, such as they can compare up to 3 different occupations. A student can also save this school as one of their favorites. So if I click the Save button, it'll tell me that it's been saved, and it's saved in my ePortfolio under the Where Am I Going section, under Schools and Colleges. So here's my Marquette, and I can go right back to research more information on Marquette. That was under Explore More and Browse Colleges and Schools. We can also do a search for colleges and schools based on specific criteria. So for example, I'm going to clear my search. Let's say that I am actually living in the Midwest. Let's say that I hate the cold. I'm living in Wisconsin. I hate the cold. I hate the snow. I hate being worried about crashing every winter. I'm going to click on, I want to move to the Southwest. I don't care which state, just the Southwest. The next category, I want to get a bachelor's degree in, let's say business, let's say accounting. And I don't care about anything else. So I just want to move to the Southwest and get a bachelor's degree in accounting. However, I can choose tuition amounts, enrollment amounts, competition, all the way down. But when I'm ready, I can click Results. And here is a list of, I have 116 schools in the southwest part of the United States that offer bachelor's degree in accounting. All right, so here I'm looking at Arkansas, and then I can go to New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, and then I can actually research information on this specific school. So CareerLocker does have college information on all of the colleges and universities in the United States, the ones that are accredited. Under Explore More, I can go directly into comparing colleges and schools. I can also browse graduate schools. I can browse majors and degrees. So again, let's say that I want to major in English. I'm going to click Show Programs. Let's say that I want to major in English Language and Literature. Here it gives me an overview of the actual program or the actual major, English Language and Literature. You have the overview, along with program admission and typical coursework. Don't forget the typical coursework. We can also take a look at occupations we could pursue with a degree in English and training schools and colleges that offer English. So if you're working with one of those students that they don't care where they go, they just want to major in English, or they just want to major in some specific program, you can click on English and then find a school not only in Wisconsin. Wisconsin is popping up first on my screen because I'm physically located in Wisconsin, but the entire United States. So if you're in California, you can find a list of all of the California universities that offer English as a program. And again, you can click on that school and research the information about that school. I can also research information on adult apprenticeships and school to career programs. The next category is the job-seeking category. It's not going to be used too much by the middle school students, but I'll give you an idea of how it works. The Find a Job section, these are outside job banks that are not maintained by us here at CareerLocker. So students can go and find open positions at us.jobs or nation.job. They can also find employers related to specific occupations in the state of Wisconsin only. But we also have the resume maker and the cover letter writer. Now, the fun thing that I wanted to show you, especially for the middle school students, is the resume and the job interview. These are two online tools that teach the students about the different types of resumes, along with the appropriate ways to behave, to prepare, and to follow up for job interviews. So for example, if I take a look at this job interview, I'm watching videos.
A successful job interview involves much more than just showing up for an appointment with a potential employer.
Once I've finished watching this video, I click the next button. I can watch some more videos. Now if I click on the Dress for Success, I'm actually going to skip. I've already watched all of these videos. There's this fun tool online where students can actually click to figure out what's wrong with these wardrobe choices.
Whoa. Who picked out these outfits? This is definitely not the right way to dress for a job interview. It's up to you to set things straight. Click on everything that's wrong with these wardrobe choices.
So if I watched the videos, I should know what's wrong. So for example, don't wear flip-flops to a job interview. Cover yourself up. Don't do excessive jewelry. Wear neutral nail polish, neutral makeup. Iron your pants. Don't wear tennis shoes. Tuck your shirt in. Shave your face. Take out the nose ring.
Good job. That looks much better.
So this is under Explore More, under the job interview. So these are nice tools for your middle school students to learn about the different types of resumes and the ways to prepare and behave during job interviews. But we also have sample resumes, sample job applications, and then the resume maker and the cover letter writer are in here as well. Students can build chronological resumes or functional resumes, but it actually will import information that they've saved into their ePortfolio. So for example, I can do a resume, I can punch in a career objective, I can do all of these things, punch in a summary of qualification, work experience, education, and whatnot. And then everything that I do is saved into my ePortfolio. So if I click on ILP ePortfolio, my favorite schools and colleges are saved under this Where Am I Going section. My favorite my favorite majors and degrees are saved here as well. But then the resumes, the job seeking profile, my resume is saved here, the resume maker, and the cover letter writer. So if I wrote a resume today, I can click on it and go back and make any changes that I need to. This resume is also you can open it up in Microsoft Word. So if I click Preview Print and I click Preview, I can open it up in Word. I'm going to do a rich text format here. And then if I'm a student, I can use Microsoft Word's resume formatting tools to change the resume around, to format the resume, and do anything that I need to change the resume. So that was the resume saved in the ePortfolio. The last thing that I wanted to show you under the Explore More is the budgeting tool. This is the budget builder. Here students can indicate how many people will be living in their household. So I'm going to say I have one adult. And I can punch in the dollar amount that I want to budget each month. So for example, I want to budget $2,732 for housing. And how do I know how much a good amount to budget for housing is? If I click on this link, I can say that I want to live in a one-bedroom rental place. And then we have a description of housing below. And we have, for example, low budget for renting. Less expensive housing tends to cover just the basics. Small bedrooms, limited closet space, older carpeting. High budget for renting. Upscale housing includes apartment houses or condos that have fewer spacious, or that have more spacious rooms and a greater number of conveniences. So let's say that I'm going to do this $827 per month. I'm going to click Add to Budget. Oops, $827. Now I can do this all the way down. Tuition and extras, that's $2,000. I can punch in the year, 2015, and I can click Calculate Budget. So if I want to budget $827 a month for housing, $358 a month for food, etc., go all the way down, I need to make sure that I make at least $56,000 a year in the state of Wisconsin. We can change the state taxes. Let's say we're in California again, and then we can calculate the budget. California, this year $54,000 in California, next year will be about $57,000. And then I can find matching occupations. So this is a list of the occupations with a median salary between $54,000 and $64,000. So if I'm interested, I can click on one of these occupations. And you notice I've left the Explore More button and I've moved back over to the Occupations button. I can go back. I can save this budget by clicking the Save. I can give it a name. Whoops. I have to delete an old budget. And it tells me that it's been saved. And it's saved in my ePortfolio at the very bottom under Budget Plan. So here are my 3 budgets that I've saved. Okay, so that pretty much wraps up this webinar focusing on the Explore More tab at the middle school level. Don't forget to email me if you have questions. My email address is arivera3@wisc.edu. That's A-R-I, V as in Victor, E-R-A 3@WIS as in Sam, C.edu. Don't forget to check out the rest of my webinars and let me know if you have questions.